Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents Three from Deep. Your host, Jason Colenso. Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing today? Hump Day, Wednesday, couple of days before Valentine's Day. So I appreciate the love. I'll show you guys some love today by talking some basketball. We are getting close to the All-Star game and the All-Star break. So I want to go over a few big things today. We're going to discuss Luka. Finally get to see him on the court after a month and a half. Hasn't been on the court since December. So it was exciting to see him in LA. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. We're going to touch a little bit on AD, not too much because I don't want to hurt the Mavs fans as much as they've been hurt already. So we'll a little bit on that. We're also going to talk about Wemby and De'Aaron Fox from Monday night. Got some great games that happened on Monday night, so we're going to touch base on that with De'Aaron Fox, with Jimmy Butler stepping up. We're also going to do a quick flashback to Sunday evening. I want to talk about the Rockets breaking their 6-game losing streak. We also got some great games to look forward to Wednesday and Thursday before the All-Star break. So we'll discuss that a little bit here. And then, guys, I love to do my top 5. So I'm going to give you my top 5 dream cars. Because, I like to dream. We all do. We all daydream. We sit there sometimes. We're at work and we think about where we want to be or where we wish we could be or what we'd be driving. So I'm going to daydream a little bit about some of the cars that I would love to own or any Leafs drive one time. So we'll get into that a little bit. So I appreciate you guys joining. I got my cup of coffee. So I appreciate you guys joining me. Listen, guys. Boom Broadcasting Network, the YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Jump on there. A lot of great content. Your boy Jason, a.k.a. NY, 3 from Deep, 3 times a week is on there. But we got football. We got baseball. We got wrestling. We got all kinds of shows. We got TV shows. So please check Boom Broadcasting Network out, guys. Like and subscribe. Without your support, I can't be here doing this. So I thank you all very much. For those who do watch the show, pass it on. See if you can get your friends and family to join in. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The Luka Laker era has begun. Monday night, it was a interesting scene to see all those 77 T-shirts on all the seats. It looks like Luka got everybody T-shirts. So every seat in the crypto.com arena, which I still hate calling it that. It's the Staples Center, but we can't call it that no more. The crypto.com arena in front of a sold-out crowd. Luka finally took the court. And it lived up to the spectacle that it was. Every superstar was out. You could see the electricity in the building of what Luka has created there in LA and the buzz around these Lakers now. I almost think it was bigger than LeBron coming. I haven't seen a buzz like this in LA, especially due to a trade since the Shaq trade about 30 years ago. So this was surreal, but it's now real. Luka took the court, got his first bucket amongst an eruption of the crowd. The Lakers ended up winning the game against the Jazz, 132-113. Now, Luka did drop 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. He only played about 24 minutes or so, sat out pretty much the whole fourth quarter. The Lakers were up. Relax, they played the Jazz, so I get it. But Luka hasn't played since Christmas Day, guys. He's still got to get his legs underneath of him. He went 1 for 7 for threes. You could see towards the end his legs started getting a little heavy. So he's definitely got to get ramped up to get into playing shape. So I think he's going to be playing the next few games, and then he'll have the All-Star break to kind of bounce back a little bit. But this was everything that it was built up to be. Spectacle, the superstars, LA showed out, and Luka in LA is going to be magical. If he gives LA what he gave in Dallas, prepare for a show. But the big questions are, who are you going to build around Luka? LeBron, he gets his. He's having a good year, but how many years does he have left? Maybe one, maybe two. They did sign a center because that was one of their big holes in that team right now. There were tons of rumors flying around. Dwight Howard, Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, Mo Bamba, Daniel Theus, because it's the buyout season. So a lot of the trades that went down, guys were getting bought out. But they ended up just not late in the evening. Alex Len via the Wizards. The Wizards bought him out. He was going to go to Indy, but changed his mind and ended up going to LA. Who can blame him? Who can blame him? You get to go play with Luka Doncic. You now have a free agent destination there in LA. You have a 25-year-old megastar in probably one of the brightest markets in the NBA. You have the greats hanging from the rafters. Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson. That, I think, is only going to fuel Luka's fire. The other thing that's going to fuel his fire is the Mavs owner doubling down and trying to talk trash about Luka on the way out, questioning his dedication and his work ethic. Dude, he's a 25-year-old multimillionaire. A lot of times, dedication takes a little guidance. What were the Mavs doing to help him with that? If anything at all. Look, Kobe Bryant, especially in the middle and towards the end of his career, was the Mamba mentality, but he didn't start off that way. Kobe Bryant got into some trouble there in Denver, if we all do recall that. And that was his wake-up call. Because after that happened, he completely flipped the switch. So I think Luka needed his switch flipped, and maybe this is it. This getting traded. But the Dallas Mavericks owner, after the other night, amidst all the protests, you doubled down and tried to talk trash about Luka. It just makes you look even worse, dude. I mean, for real. Not a good look. But right now, Lakers 4th in the West. Does this move with Luka, if he can get healthy, get his legs back underneath him, you put him with LeBron James and the rest of that squad, does this get the Lakers above some of those other teams? Does it make them better than the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, or the Thunder? That's a tough one. I think they need a little bit more. I can see them finishing 4th or 5th in the standings. Knock on wood, as long as nothing crazy happens. But the Nuggets, they got a championship squad there. The Joker, one of the best basketball players in the world also. The Memphis Grizzlies, solid team. Ja. And the boys are doing some great things in Memphis, playing great basketball. And Oklahoma City Thunder. Now that Chet Holmgren's back, he's getting a little healthy. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Shea, MVP watch. I think it's going to be hard for the Lakers to navigate through that with just Luka and LeBron and the rest of the crew. But I think that's going to show itself pretty soon here. I think after the All-Star break, Luka gets his legs. We're going to see his commitment. And I hope we get to see who Luka really could be. Because if he was a non-committed basketball player and he did that in Dallas, drug y'all through the playoffs, watch out. Because a committed Luka with Kobe Bryant's ghost looking down at him from the rafters, that's going to be huge. Huge. But yes, adding insult to injury, those Dallas Mavericks fans, man, you got to feel for them. AD, your centerpiece of this whole trade, out multiple weeks with an abductor strain. Hey, yo, Mavs, where's the AD shirts? Luka gave away T-shirts in LA. Where's the Mavs giveaway? But unfortunately, I think this trade, especially the way it looks right now, because Dallas, you didn't get much anything else. A draft pick and another role player. Oh, this is going to haunt that franchise forever. But yeah, AD out multiple weeks. It's not a good look, Dallas. And your owner doubling down on trading him away because he wasn't committed. You could have sat them down and struck some fear into him, but you don't trade away your 25-year-old superstar. Oh, it's crazy, guys. We can talk about that for the next 2 hours, how insane this is. But let's get into Monday night. There was another game. The Spurs, 131. Washington Wizards, 121. I know it was Washington, but we're going to touch on Wemby and De'Aaron Fox both dropping 30 burgers. Wemby, 31, 15 rebounds. De'Aaron Fox, 30 points. So you have 60 points for that duo. And Chris Paul had 10 assists. Spurs, 12th in the West, right behind those Suns, 11th. If the Spurs can catch fire, which I think they can, they're my dark horse. If the Spurs can catch fire, I think this De'Aaron Fox trade is huge. I think this means they can start making some noise in the West. They have the talent. They have the length. They just need to string together some wins. So if De'Aaron Fox can do this and drop 30, and Wemby can do Wemby things, the Parisian Pillar, still trying to get that out there, guys, Parisian Pillar. If he can get 30 and 15 on a nightly basis, the Spurs are going to be a tough out. So it was a great win for them just because you're starting to see them come together. I know they've had a couple of losses after that first win, but now they need to string together some wins. So come on, Spurs. Also Monday night, Warriors beating a Giannis-less Bucks, 125-111. Curry still cooking up magic, man. I tell you what, the babyface assassin, when it's all said and done, I think he's going to be in the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. Kind of on the outside knocking in. Now he's in my top 5 most influential NBA players of all time. Whether you think it's good or bad, I had a show about that before, that I think Curry and the 3 is killing the NBA. A lot of people think so. A lot of people don't. Think I'm crazy. I understand that. But Chef Curry's still doing big things, drops 38 points. But he actually had some help. Jimmy Butler dropped 29 rebounds and 6 assists. Paying dividends. Jimmy dropped the last 6 points in that third quarter to kind of put Golden State ahead, and then they started running away with it. Dame time. Dame Lillard showed up, showed he could still drop some points, 38. Not enough. Kuzma, 21, but they didn't have any defense. And turnovers. They had over 20 turnovers, Milwaukee Bucks. So those no defense and 20 turnovers plagues you, and you will lose just about every time. But Warriors 10th in the West. Kings are 9th. They're kind of tied percentage-wise. Half game back of the Mavs and 2.5 back of the T-Wolves to kind of move themselves up possibly into 7th. So is Jimmy Butler the answer in Golden State? If they get playoff Jimmy for the rest of the year, that dog, heart and soul, Jimmy Butler, the guy that drugged the Heat to 2 finals that shouldn't have been there, drugged those teams. If they get that Jimmy Butler playing with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Buddy, he'll show up a little bit every once in a while. Come on, buddy. My buddy. But I think Golden State has a chance. It's going to be tough because, man, that West is deep. You got Luka with LeBron to contend with. De'Aaron Fox and Wemby to contend with. The Joker. But I don't think any of those guys are catching Oklahoma City Thunder right now. I think it's going to be super tough. And then let's do a quick Sunday flashback, guys. So, of course, I record my show on Sunday nights. It drops Mondays at 12. So, please, if you haven't seen the last episode, jump back there and check it out. We go over a lot more of the trade, a little more in-depth, and some of the other things we talk about. So, please check my show out. You can see it on demand on the Boom Broadcasting channel, YouTube. Come on, check us out, man. Like and subscribe. But Sunday flashback, the Rockets finally broke the 6-game losing streak. They won against the Raptors, 94-87. I will not be dropping any Drake jokes, so we'll let that slide. Brooks with 19, Green with 19. They did not have Van Vliet. He's been out for 5 games. No Adams. Those back-to-backs for him. And then what I'm more concerned about is Alfred Sengun left in the first quarter with back spasms. Their all-star center. So that concerns me. That losing streak, they were 2nd. Now they're 5th in the West. West being deep. This is a young, talented team. Amen Thompson, I still think he's going to be a superstar in this league. They got that win. They're back. So now can you get and string together some wins and get back up into the West and start pushing these guys and pushing back into being a contender? It's going to be tough because the West is deep, but don't sleep on the Rockets. If they can catch fire again, they got a young team. I can see them doing something. So finally broke that losing streak. Go Rockets. Sorry, guys. I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee. Go Yankees. Pitchers and catchers reporting soon. If you guys don't know or haven't checked him out, Chris LaDuca, the Dugout Debrief on the Boom Broadcasting Network, all things baseball, does a great job breaking everything down. So you guys got to check him out, please. Shout out. But here, we're going to take a quick time out. I'm going to jump in. Like everybody, we all have our dreams. I never dreamed I'd be doing a podcast, so this is new for me. I always thought maybe I could do it. I still need a little work. I got a lot of growing to do. I haven't been doing this a long time. But we all have dreams out there. And what better thing to talk about is my dream cars. I love cars. I've owned some old cars before. I've owned a lot of different cars before. But I want to talk about my dream vehicles. Um, number 5. So my top 5. So number 5, I've always wanted to drive an Aston Martin. That Vantage, they got the new 2025 Aston Martin Vantage. We get the drop top. I don't know, the James Bond thing to go with it. That Mystique. I've never been in one, never driven one. I'd love to drive one. I think that'd be awesome. They are just a work of art. So, anybody out there has one that maybe wants to just let me borrow it for an evening, hit me up. But the Aston Martin Vantage, love it. Number 4, 1979 Monte Carlo. The Training Day Monte Carlo. Denzel Monte Carlo. I love the lines. I'm a little more old school. I love that kind of lowrider vibe. And that's 79 Monte Carlo, man, just to kind of way those curves go. Sexy. Love it. 71 through 73 Buick Boat Tail Riviera. I love that car. Just long. I like the big, long cars. I'm not a huge sports car guy. If you gave me one to drive, I'd have some fun with it. But I like low and slow, baby. Especially if you can fit like 15 people in the back seat. Let's go. But I love that Boat Tail Riviera. Again, you just hook that thing up, squinch it a little bit. I don't need it scraping the ground, but you put some curb feelers on the front, man. Get that lowrider vibe. Just a sexy car. Comfort, just float on when you're driving down the highway in a big boat like that, man. Love it. Love the land yachts, man. I miss that. Miss the land yachts. All these weird little cars now. I don't feel it. I need a car that's at least 20 feet, baby. That's why my number 2 is a 1960 Cadillac DeVille. Boat. Big. Bodies in the trunk. Just love that look. Love those lines, the fins on the back, that grill, kind of bulleted out, chromed. 1960 Cadillac DeVille. I miss when Cadillac used to name the cars DeVille, Eldorado. Now they're XJ6 in abbreviations and list letters. Nah, man. Bring it back. Bring the DeVille back, baby. Come on, Cadillac. And my number 1 dream car, which I would love to have, 1960 4-door hardtop Impala, Chevy Impala. Everybody says, well, 2 doors is better. I like the 4-door hardtop because you just roll down all 4 windows. You don't have that pillar there. It's just nice and wide open. I love that look. The way that 60s Impala with the fins on the back, that shape, the lines, bench seat, so it's nice and comfy and cushy. Oh, that is a sexy car. So that is my number 1 dream car I would love to have. 1960 Chevrolet Impala 4-door hardtop. One day, maybe I can get one. I'm hoping soon. But yes, we'll run it down. So I got 1 new car in there. Everything is classics. I love the classic cars, man. Cars with soul. Cars with flavor. Not cookie cutter. Not something you got to plug in like a freaking toaster. Automobiles. But I want to try a 2025 Aston Martin Vantage. Actually, I drive any kind of Aston Martin. So any year, Aston Martin, I don't care if it's 50s, 60s, the original James Bonds, all the way up to now. So I'd drive one, anything. 79 Monte Carlo, 71 through 73, the Boat Tail Riviera, Boat Tail Rivy, 1960 Cadillac DeVille, woo! And then the 1960 4-door hardtop Chevrolet Impala. My list of dream cars, guys. Tell me yours. Like, subscribe, drop me a comment. I want to hear what your dream drive and your dream automobile would be. If you have it and you own, like I have my dream car, let me know. I'd love to know that because I think it's awesome when dreams do come true because they do come true, guys. If you work hard enough and stay focused, dreams do come true. So let's jump into what to watch these next few days before the All-Star break. Wednesday, got games to watch. You got the Spurs versus the Celtics. You got Wemby and Fox versus the champs. Can Wemby and Fox string together some wins, start making some noise in the West? You got Cavs and the Raptors. Cavs, number one team in the East, 43-10 at the break. We'll see what that record ends up at the actual break. But playing against the Raptors here on Wednesday. Hawks versus my Knicks. Knicks 34-18. It is a great time to be. I got my Knicks stuff back here, guys. I am a Knicks fan. Dude, Jalen Brunson is and should be considered an MVP, please. Playing unbelievable basketball. The heart of that team with him and Hart. They got two hearts. Heck, they're like octopus. They need three hearts. Then you got the Heat playing against OKC. OKC, best record in the NBA right now by a game. 43-9. Chet Holmgren is back. That just makes that team stronger. Really didn't need to make any crazy moves during the draft or during the trade deadline because they have a solid squad and they have a ton of draft capital. So OKC doing big things there, man. They look great. Then you also have the Lakers and the Jazz again. Yes, they're playing the Jazz, but these are good warm-up games for Luka. He needs to get them legs back in. He needs to get into game form, and he needs to get in shape and show the world that the Dallas Mavericks – I mean, the world already knows they made a mistake, but I think he needs to come out there felt and just in shape and ready to rock and roll. Put the energy drinks down, put the little Debbies down, go out there and have some of that mama mentality. That jersey or jerseys are hanging in the rafters there, man. You better show up, Luka. Excuse me. And then you got the Warriors and Mavs, Jimmy Buckets, and Steph Curry playing against the AD-less Mavs. Man, it is rough to be a Mavs fan right now. Pretty sad. Then Thursday, Warriors playing back-to-back, going against the Rockets. That's going to be tough. Rockets right there. Warriors trying to move up in the West. Got Thunder versus T-Wolves. T-Wolves playing a little bit better. And Edwards starting to show up a little bit. They started off slow. Can they make some moves after the All-Star break? And then, of course, huge news with A-Rod and that group making it through to purchase the T-Wolves. So Alex Rodriguez is going to be an owner. That's going to be pretty cool. So those are your big games Wednesday and Thursday. There are some other games, but those are the games to watch. And then, of course, you have the All-Star weekend, which we'll touch base on Saturday's show with that because, of course, they have Saturday is when all the big festivities go on, the slam dunk, the three-point, the skills challenge. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we'll kind of do a mid-season breakdown on records and standings. But Friday night starts the All-Star break, and that's the Rising Stars game. So that's when they're playing that tournament thing to kind of get into playing the tournament All-Star game, that new setup they have, which it's confusing. So I'm going to watch it to try to see if I can figure it out. So, but lots going on right now, guys. The NBA is on fire. And this is only halfway. We still got a whole nother half to go. So I am very excited. I'm very excited to be here with you again, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. 3 from Deep, 3 times a week. I'm your boy, Jason Colenso, a.k.a. New York. Thank you guys for joining me. Check us out on the Boom Broadcasting Network YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. Drop me a comment. I want to hear from you. And I thank you guys. We'll see you on Saturday. Peace.